So are there any questions out there that I can answer for anybody? We are live, so please keep your comments clean. I'll have to edit you out if you don't. Tony, Jennifer saying hello.
Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you tonight.
Don't make me ban you.
I'll behave just for you, Craig.
Well, I really liked what Jay was doing. I mean, he's such an organized person when he sets up his websites. It's just...
And you know, it's interesting you mentioned that, Craig, because that's what I've been working on the last few weeks. As you know, is getting all this site structure done. And I enjoyed watching that because it was actually really funny seeing how he's building this one. I'm sitting back going, you know, that's the whole theory for what I've been working on now, and I'm already seeing results. So I think site structure is a big part of your online SEO, or on-site SEO. I mean,
I do like the way how he went in. He did some keyword research. He said, okay, now what is my audience? My audience is beginning. My audience is beginning quadcopter users. I'm not going for the advanced guys, the guys that are flying these monster 6 blades that are driving a 5-pound camera and
right.
doing real estate and checking out people's pools and this and that and the other thing. Oh, Tony, you just showed up in the after webinar on the live Hangout page.
Oh, well, that's nice.
The delay apparently is about 2.5 minutes. So.
Yeah. I joined it before I came into the channel, so. Let me see what kind of delay we're looking at as far as a live broadcast.
Well, that's what I was looking at. I don't see it playing yet, but I don't have play. I don't want to play that because that'll give me feedback that'll drive you guys nuts. So.
We are about 45 seconds behind.
Junior said that he's going to watch, so that was 6 minutes ago. Jarrell, you're not Junior, right? You're someone else. Is that correct? See, now they got Jay in chat.
All over at Wealthy Affiliate?
So he might come in here, or he might just be
stuck in the chat room.
Stuck in the chat room with Bradley. Well, he has the link if he can get here.
There we go.
His voice sounded like it was in still pretty rough shape, so.
Yeah, he's still got a bit of a cough, and I noticed that, so.
He said that
basically, we don't have to do the about. Excuse me. We don't have to do the about me and the privacy policy and all that other stuff.
For what?
For a website.
Oh, absolutely, you do. If you're gonna do any sort of affiliation, you absolutely have to have those.
Okay, but if you just get started, then you don't have to sweat that.
Well, what Jay started off with was he just put up his site, and then he let it marinate, and it's been marinating since when? When did he create that? Back in June?
Yeah, that's what he said.
June or July?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's just been marinating. You don't need to have an about me or a privacy policy at that point. He didn't have any affiliate links on it, so he wasn't overly concerned. But now that he started looking for affiliate products, and when he finally puts those on there, he will absolutely want to have the privacy policy, and it will include the disclaimer for affiliate stuff.
Right, especially for Amazon, right.
That's required for compliance with the FCC mandates these days.
Okay.
But if you're just putting up a website, the FCC doesn't care. As long as you're not trying to make money with it, they don't care at all. I don't think anybody's going to come in here as long as Jay's in the chat. But anyhow, so is anybody doing anything that they need help with?
I always need help.
How can they help you, Jennifer?
Right now, I don't know, but I need help.
Well, what kind of things are you working on right now?
Well, I'm stuck with the whole pink crossbow one. That one is. I know I have a huge thing to go after. Pink, 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 pink. Right? Anything pink, really. But I don't know. I think I'm losing interest in it. Maybe.
Well, I wouldn't think of it as pink so much as pink is a gender thing.
I would think of it more as, when I think of your site, Jennifer, I think of it more as a women's hunting site, not just
Right.
pink crossbow. I think of it more of women's hunting and camping. You could even throw some fishing in there. Women's outdoors.
I saw a site today actually, and he had camping stuff in there, but his was Realtree, and that was his targeted keyword because the site was named Realtree.
He's going to run into branding problems because Realtree is.
I think it actually was Realtree.
Okay, well, if it's the camo manufacturer, then he's good. But
yeah,
if he's trying to use Realtree as his keyword and he's got a branded site and he's not actually the manufacturer, he's going to have some problems with branding.
He'll get shut down.
Yeah, Realtree is fairly aggressive about protecting their brand.
I'm gonna see if it's the same site.
Take it from somebody who's been down that road. You'll get shut down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, Realtree is one of those camo dealers. I used to train hunting dogs, and Realtree is very aggressive out there.
Yeah, it's their website, Realtree.
Oh, okay. Then they're fine. But yeah, I had the website Top Keurig Coffee Maker Reviews. Great site. Performed really well. Made some good money. But
right up until Keurig said, "Hey, that's our brand."
Yeah, right up until Keurig said, "Hey, you can't have that. Bye-bye now."
Uh-oh.
Chalk it up as a lesson learned early on. Not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it ultimately has caused me to create an even bigger coffee site, so I'm not worried about it.
And they're not going to take that away from you.
Now, I have another website I've been plugging away at for, I don't know, I guess a year. And only have been really working on it in the last, I guess, 3 months.
Would you like to put the URL down in the chat so we can look at it?
Oh, it's not live.
Oh, okay.
But it's called My Site to Shop. It's called My Site to Shop. This one I'm targeting more gadgets, I guess, gadgets and gizmos.
My Site to Shop is what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
See, that one was originally a gaming / news kind of a site and how-tos kind of a thing. I don't know. It was back when I had no training whatsoever.
Well, that's
doing really good.
That's a great URL.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a really good URL. I like that.
Yeah. My dad actually picked the name for me when I first started I guess 2 years ago with it. And at the time, I don't know what that site is worth now, but I guess that site or that domain or whoever owned it prior to me, it was worth $500. Who knows?
Okay.
So my dad, I was thinking of just getting rid of it, but my dad told me not to get rid of it. So who knows?
That's a good domain, and that has potential branding. And that's one that you can absolutely flip years from now. And people would eat that alive. I'd hate to see how much that would bring in an auction situation, because, again, that's a really good domain. Properly built, it could be a big site.
But how could I properly build it? That's my question.
When I hear my site to shop, I think more along the lines of anything and everything. You could literally do one product lineup at a time. Think of, like, let's just go into an example, okay? My site to shop, let's say you had a crossbow line, and you did like you've done with Pink Crossbow, and you made all that content, and you made all of that one area. Crossbows, done. And then you move on to arrows. Do a whole bunch of posts about arrows. Make that category, fill all that out. Done. And then you move on to other stuff. And I mean, it wouldn't be necessarily one thing. You could go from crossbows to KitchenAid. I mean, it's...
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, what
question.
sort of things do you need to buy for your family that people might be interested in?
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking, too, is that one would be wide open.
Another quick question is, should I be just concentrating, like, writing the post, like how we've been taught, and putting my links in within the post as well as the pictures, or should I be using like some sort of a shop plugin saying buy now, whatever, right? Should I do like a store kind of a shop, or should I just do like a regular post?
I would probably stay away from the Amazon shops. But if you wanted to do WooCommerce plugin, that might be one way to go.
Just make sure that it's not... I wouldn't go along the lines of using a plugin to build the content. Make sure you're writing your own stuff, especially with your own personal flair. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And Jennifer, you should also tweak the flux capacitor and wiggle the Johnson rod.
Greetings, Jay.
Hello. That always works for me. It's like, you know what's funny is like, you ever have a conversation with your mechanic as to what they're going to be doing to your vehicle when you take it in? Yeah, we're going to get in there and jiggle the Johnson rod and tweak the master cylinder there, and you know, refill your oil with W850, and you know, and to me, it's like the Snoopy things where you just hear this wah 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 wah. You know, where, like, I understand absolutely nothing you just said.
I, on the other hand, would have understood everything that he said, and I would have known that he was feeding me a line of...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's like that famous make sure your blinker fluid's filled up.
Yeah, exactly. Make it go and stop and turn. And make sure the stereo still works.
See, I'm the type of person that will actually investigate it myself to get it to work.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, one of the first things that I do when I get a new mechanic is I do the fall test. I get them to, because you need to trust them, right?
Yep.
So you get them, you stand there and you say, okay, I want you to catch me, you know, or you stand there and you fall back straight, you know. So if they catch you, they're going to be a reliable mechanic, and then you do it vice versa, and then you got yourself a good mechanic.
Trust me,
obviously, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I actually have a really good mechanic that we completely rely on, based on referrals, you know. So yeah. So, anyways, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kind of jump into your conversation.
I searched for years to find a good mechanic.
Yeah.
Telephone.
Sorry about that.
Tell them we said hi.
I gotta turn off my mic.
Yeah, we'll put you on mute for a minute. Yep.
Jay, it's funny they're talking about that because have you ever seen the investigative report that 60 Minutes did with IT guys?
No.
They bought a brand new computer, they bought brand new systems, and unhooked the hard drive. And then took the systems out to all kinds of different techs. Yeah, I think it was out in LA. And believe it or not, the worst ones that they took them to were Geek Squad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Geek Squad was trying to charge them, I think, $200 to ship it off.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And then, like, they took it into a couple mom and pop shops, and the guys were like, "Oh, yeah, here you go." Plugged it in, gave it to them, and sent it back home with them free.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And do they have like the eyeglass cameras and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, they had the cameras rolling on them and everything. It's been probably 5 years ago, but it's a really interesting thing to watch because they do.
I've seen something similar with mechanics where they did something and then they call them on it, right? They come out with the cameras saying, "Well, it said you did this, and we actually took it to another mechanic, and you're lying."
Right.
I went and got some tires one time from a place that was somewhat on the shady side, and while they were doing my tires, I sat there and listened to what they were telling the other people. They had one lady, I think her repair was going to be $2,500, and I think she probably had a gas cap loose.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
It was, I was...
Yeah. See, at what point do you jump in and say, no, I don't think that's the right thing, At what point? Isn't that what's like the premise of that show, What Would You Do? Right? I think
yes.
NBC has a show like that's called that, where they do situations just like that, just to test, sociological experiment to see, how many people would actually do something and how many people would not, right? So
right.
Yeah, that sounds like a perfect situation for one of those.
So Jay, what we were discussing when you popped in was that Jennifer was talking about, she briefly talked about her pink crossbows, and she was having trouble getting her head around the whole, do I have to focus on pink, or can I focus on women's crossbows and hunting supplies?
Oh, no, it doesn't have to be pink at all. No, pink to me is just the premise of it kind of going towards the female angle as opposed to the actual color.
Okay.
Hey, Jennifer, do you use the word color at all in your site?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, because I was going to ask you, if you do, how do you spell it? Because you and I both add an extra letter in there, right? So COLOUR, right? Where these American folks omit the right way, so I don't know, stuff like that.
Well, it's certainly a giveaway that you are either in the UK or in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my dad's actually from the States there, so it's funny because he, we'll talk about the difference in language, and he'll be like, no, you say roof, and I said, no, you say, or they say rough or whatever. Or my dad's like rough, yeah. And it's kind of like tomato and tomato.
Or the foyer.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you, Canadian folks, how do you spell gray?
Geez, I always get confused with that one. So it's Grey or Gray. I think it's Grey. Yeah.
I do it AY.
Okay. I just wondered.
How do you spell gray?
Gray.
Yeah. How is 50 Shades spelled? 50 Shades.
Well, that's actually a name, so it's Gray, I believe.
Oh, that's his name?
Yeah, his name is Gray.
Oh, sorry, I didn't read the book, so.
No, well, there's 4 of them, or 3 of them at least.
Oh, is there? Yeah. I think that movie is going to be an epic disappointment for a lot of people.
Epic.
My wife went and saw it, and she said they left it in a really bad place. They they want to get people coming to the second one. And,
Right.
But that's what the book did too. It left you wanting more.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Obviously.
finally at the end of the third book actually, gave you a good denouement and
Right.
but they left cliffhangers in the first and second books, and you were very unsatisfied.
Batman, old school Batman-esque type of cliffhangers.
Oh yeah.
Will Robin be able to get out of this, knife wheel? Tune in next week.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Well, hello, Julie.
Hi.
I saw one the other day where Batman and Robin were both stuck to a big sheet of fly paper at the end of the episode.
Yeah. The boys are starting to get into the old Batman shows. They actually like the cliffhangers, right? But the good thing is that they have them back to back.
Right.
So they're not left hanging until next week, So.
Yeah,
Are they the old ones, like where the
Yeah.
acting was really bad and the little cartoon things come up and go,
Yeah,
"Boo,"
with
or is
Adam.
that?
Yeah, exactly. With Adam West. Yeah, with Adam West. Right.
Boom and Powell.
And I love how the cartoon SpongeBob adapted that same kind of goofiness with a couple of superheroes in their show.
Oh, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Yes, who are from like a seniors' home, right?
Yes.
Like these old retired people.
They go and try to pull him out of retirement from the nursing home. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
Hey Jay,
Oh,
not to get you off the course there, but
the
how do you
fun
spell
robber,
night?
yeah.
How do you spell
Knight?
night?
Do you mean the gallant, the gallant person in armor?
No, night, as in
The
good night.
evening?
Yes.
Yeah, N-I-G-H-T.
Okay.
I see a lot of people shorthanding that to NITE.
N-I-T-E, yeah. I think the internet has, and social.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mobile has a lot to do with it, Like, as
Oh my God.
opposed to saying, laugh out loud, LOL.
For the longest time, I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there's like a whole bunch of different urban dictionaries out there that has, tells you what all these different things. The one thing that I've recently just trying to figure out was a lot of people will write specifically in WA is IMO. I think that's it.
In my opinion. Yes.
Ah, there you go.
And it's often IMHO, in my humble opinion.
Oh, see, all this time I thought they're swearing at me or something. You idiot mother of a...
I couldn't figure out the one that was "I am laughing my ass off."
Oh yeah, LMFAO or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there thinking, what on earth is that?
I always like Rofel.
Ruffle mouth.
Well, yeah.
I like
Tony
ruffle
uses
mouth.
that.
Yeah.
Tony's
I do.
a raffle.
I'm a ruffler.
Yeah.
I often combine it with LMAO, and it turns into ROFLMAO.
Yeah. 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 So Jennifer, did all of your questions get answered? I sorry, I kind of went off track there again.
Honestly, I don't think my questions are always gonna or will ever get all answered.
Always float in the air. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
but no,
and yeah, in terms of the skew of your site, I think just like to me, it when I initially kind of did that, helped you kind of conceptualize that thought was, the term pink crossbow was like so that people understand, oh, well, this is obviously either for, a female demographic or a gay demographic, right? So, obviously,
Well, it would be
I'm going
rainbow
after the gay.
Yeah. Are you gay and interested in hunting?
Don't laugh. You don't live in New York, do you?
Good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a totally different topic, right? Gay hunting.
We had we had a park up here that is in a similar situation to Oak Bay right now, where they were getting
Deers?
a significant volume of deer.
Okay.
You know what our solution was?
Shoot 'em.
Limited bow hunting permits.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. That's what we did in
They
Morgantown.
sent out 25 guys. They said, okay, you can take 2 deer each.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
it was over.
Oak
They went out
Bay
2 days.
Oak Bay is very old money, right? Oak Bay is very, very old money. So we actually call it behind the Tweed curtain. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, and so people would like, oh, by golly, I don't believe in that kind of hunting, unless we get the bloodhounds and the horses. Let's go, So yeah, no, it would never fly in Oak Bay. Not that. No, not at all.
I always thought deer flew. No,
Yeah, exactly.
I almost got run over by one. We have this house in Hilton Head along the water.
Well, see that you can't say that because you're not a grandma yet. At least I don't think you are.
Not a grandma,
Yeah.
and probably never will be. I'm not sure if anybody would have my boys or that they have any intention of ever getting settled down. Different world out there.
Yeah. Every once in a while, Christmas comes. When Christmas comes around, that silly song comes on.
Grandpa got run over by a reindeer.
Yeah.
No, I was back there. I was pulling weeds, and there was this big hedge, and I could hear something coming. It almost sounded like a horse.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, here comes this deer up over the hedge, and through the hedge came a Rottweiler chasing the deer.
Really?
And I came running around the house, and my boys fell on the floor. They said they'd never seen me move that fast. And then when they saw animals go by,
That's
they
funny.
saw the problem. But I mean, golly.
We had a similar situation across the street from us. Our neighbor across the street has a Chihuahua, and we had a deer out there, and Spike is the name of the dog. Was out there too and started barking at it. So this deer was, kind of did its defense where it kind of went up on its hind legs and tried to stomp this dog, and it's literally inches away from this dog, and we're watching, we're going, Spike, get out of there, get out of there. And I was amazed that dog did not get stomped. It was just because literally and the stupid dog is under his right under this deer barking at it, and eventually the deer actually took off. And it's funny, you could tell that Spike when it was done and the deer was gone, that he had this proud walk coming back home, like, take that, mofo.
Yeah, I had a totally opposite issue. I was out one day working with Gracie, and we were working this big field. And the guy I was out with was actually mapping the edge of the field. And Gracie started working a scent cone, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, did she pick up Steve as he was walking by? And so she works her way up, and she gets right up to a hedge, and she's about 90 yards away at this point. And all of a sudden, she turns around, tucks her tail between her legs, comes right back to me, and hides behind me. And I'm like, what was that?
Yeah.
Well, about 5 minutes later, an 8-point buck stood up and walked out of that hedgerow.
Really? A gutless wonder, hey?
Like, whoa, that thing's really big.
That reminds me of that movie Wild America, where those brothers went out and exploring America and were going to be videographers. And,
Yes.
that one kid was stuck up in the rack of that moose.
Yeah.
And the moose is running.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a good movie. I liked that one.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
So how are you feeling, Jay?
Good. I'm actually off antibiotics now for 3 days.
Oh.
And yeah.